Hi folks, my name is Jeremy and you are watching RetroFat. I'm a fat guy losing weight by exercising to retro pop culture. I'm down over 100 pounds from my highest, and while I still have a way to go till goal weight, I'm confident that 80s and 90s TV shows and movies will help me get there. Today I am reacting to an episode of The Torkelsons. This is the 7th episode of season 1 called Men Don't Leave. I think this one's going to be a little bit of a tearjerker, more of that than a comedy, but I'm not really even sure I'd call The Torkelsons a sitcom. It was like if a sitcom and a melodrama had a baby. But in any event, this show first aired on November 2nd, 1991. Very similar to the last one, it was directed by Arlene Sanford and written by Diana, Jenny Ayers, and Susan Sebastian. This show had 15 million viewers on first airing, and I can only imagine that they were probably thrilled to get that kind of number, because that would have been gangbusters at the time. Unfortunately, the Torkelsons only lasted one season. We did get a second attempt of a reboot of the show called Almost Home, which sadly only lasted 13 episodes, but we're going to watch and react to all of them. So let's get to it.
Hey, I bet you can see all the way to Tulsa from the top of that Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride that Ferris wheel 4 times this year.
I'm gonna ride it with you.
I think you kids need to understand your carnival economics. Now, you only get $4 worth of tickets, which may not seem like much individually, but put together, that's a $20 pop for your mama, which includes rides and refreshments. So, if you eat a corn dog, then go on the tilt-a-whirl and throw it up. That's just poor scheduling, so don't come crying to me.
That dinky little carnival only comes to Pyramid Corners because nobody else will have it.
Well, excuse me, Miss Paris France. Regardless of your poo-poo critique, the rest of us are gonna seize the moment and spin and twirl and ride the Ferris wheel while we can. Randall?
Mary Sue, it's Daddy. It is?
Okay, so before we get to the opening theme song, I just have to say that I am a parent of only one child, admittedly not 5. And I know this happens in the real world. We see it all the time. Men abandoning their families. And I know there are women who abandon their families too, but that's not what we're talking about. I do not understand how anyone could just leave their children. Like so Mary Sue is, I'm thinking 5-ish here. We're later going to learn he hasn't been there for a year and a half. So Chucky Lee had to tell Mary Sue who that was. She did not remember her father. He's just a terrible, terrible man. I don't understand people who don't see their commitments through, especially to your children. So, okay. Let's watch.
People say God looks out for the working man. Sure hope he's looking out for me. These empty pockets need a helping hand. Kitchen tables full of family. But then the sun comes up and the moon is shining big and bright, and the new day promises that everything will be alright, and the new day promises that everything will be alright.
Spent the last 8 weeks roughnecking 20 miles offshore of Corpus Christi, rebuilding the family fortune.
Ooh, is that real?
Woo, yes. And you know, as I was coming into town this morning, I saw a bunch of guys setting up what appeared to be a carnival.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the Ferris wheel.
Well, I'm gonna ride it with you. You remember last time we went to the carnival, Dorothy Jane?
No.
You don't remember? We rode the Ferris wheel for about an hour because my buddy was running it. And I said, let her run till she says uncle. And you never wanted to get off?
I'm sorry. I don't remember.
Howdy. Oh, excuse me. You got company.
Oh, not at all. This is my husband, Mr. Hodges, Randall Torkelson. Randy, this is our boarder, Wesley Hodges.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Torkelson. Yeah, pleasure.
We did up the basement for him.
Yeah, it's real cozy. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm headed right now. Excuse me.
What?
I don't know. Seems kind of strange coming home finding a man living in my house. Since when did you start taking in boarders?
Since we needed the money. And it's not your house if you don't live here. It's our house.
Well, who wants to help me spend some of this money once that carnival opens, huh?
Okay, so this, obviously, we can already tell the entire crux of this episode is going to be Dorothy Jane being extremely put out by her father, and her father just being an absolute tool bag. I cannot imagine being gone from my family, or anybody being gone from their family, and then having the audacity to show up and being snide about a boarder. And I adore Dorothy Jane for commenting the way she did. Like, she is over it. She clearly has no use for her father, and to that I say good for her.
I've been doing a lot of thinking about you and me, and I've come to the decision that these divorce papers you sent me are going to put a serious strain on this relationship. Now, you want to tell me what this is all about?
It's about shooting this marriage, Randy, and putting it out of its misery.
Is that what you want?
No, but it's what I'm doing. Randy, you haven't been in this house for 1.5 years. We don't have a marriage anymore. We both know it. It's time we did something about it.
I love you.
It's funny how those little words drove me to marriage and multiple pregnancies.
I love you.
No, you don't. You couldn't possibly, or you wouldn't have left me alone all this time.
I'm out in the world trying to make a life for us.
We got a life right here, Randy, and it's passing by without you in it.
I am out there busting my butt to be something. And one of these times, it's going to happen very soon. I'm going to come back in here covered in oil, like James Dean was in Giant. I'm going to scoop you up in my arms. I want you to be wearing something white, because I'm going to rub about $100,000 worth of Texas crude all over you. We're going to live in a big house. We're going to have cattle.
You got that wrong. James Dean had oil, Rock Hudson had cattle. You can't have them both.
Oh, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do, Randy. Because all I am is alone at night watching these old lake movies. And I know them by heart. And you can't have oil and cattle at the same time. All I want out of you is a divorce. So sign the papers and figure you got off easy.
All right, Connie Ray is already killing it in this scene. She's playing with this emotion so well. It's kind of frustrating that she didn't make it bigger as an actress. Like, this is really, really emotional here. First of all, I'm gonna say they already have a big house, so that house is gigantic, and that is obviously a TV trope. You never see poor people have small houses for the most part in fiction, even in like movies that are allegedly realistic. I'm not gonna say never, but very seldom. Sometimes there might be like a throwaway line for like rent control or something, but her line, "You wouldn't have left me alone." That's fantastic, and we know we're gonna see. It's almost an inevitability that we'll see Millicent fall back into the comfort, the pleasure of being in a relationship at some point. But she also has to do what's best for her and her kids. And I know he's only in 2 episodes of the Torkelsons. He's not in Almost Home at all. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. He is claiming he left to build something for the family. No, he didn't. And she knows that.
We rode the Ferris wheel for an hour. I never wanted it to stop because I knew when it did, my daddy would leave. But it stopped, and he did leave. He always leaves. And that's why I'm never going to ride a Ferris wheel again as long as I live.
You think it's right to be sitting up here in your window with your daddy downstairs?
No.
Neither do I. Move over.
I don't understand you, Mama. Why do you let him just blow back in here like nothing's different? Why do you tell us he's always thinking about us?
Because he's your daddy.
But he's never around long enough for me to think of him as my daddy.
Well, I see him every day looking at me through the eyes of you and your brothers and sisters.
You don't look at me and see him. I'm nothing like him, and I'll never be anything like him.
You have big dreams of leaving this town someday? You have dreams of moving to Paris and sitting in a sidewalk cafe writing poetry and batting your eyelashes at the too old for you French boy at the next table? You think you inherited the ability to dream those big dreams from me, Dorothy Jane? I'm not possessed of those kind of dreams. It's enough for me to wake up in this old house full of my 5 children every morning, and I'm amazed every day I do. Bootsy's here.
Randy! Oh, you look good, son. How you feel?
Oh, I feel fine.
Good. You feel fine. Good. Fine. Why don't you call me? Why don't you let your family know where you are? Forget about me. I'm just your mother. Don't you realize you got a wife and 5 kids living here? Or do you think this is some kind of a mirage?
Hi, Bootsy. Randy's here.
All right, fine. He's your husband. It's none of my business. I broke your pillow.
You staying for dinner?
Yeah, I'm staying. How long you staying?
I don't know. Got my mama tell me what a jerk I am. I got my wife telling me she wants a divorce. Hardly an impetus to hang around, if you know what I mean.
Maybe if you'd hang around, we wouldn't want the divorce.
Hey, Daddy, they turned on the carnival lights. Let's get this
All right. Oh!
You said you were going to peel off some money.
That's right. Daddy's here. This is going to be the best carnival you kids ever had.
Okay.
I'd really like it if you joined us too, Dorothy Jane.
Our oldest child has outgrown the carnival, Randy. You and the kids go on, and we ladies will sit around and drink tea and eat bonbons.
All right, everybody. Carnival, here we come.
All right, so Millicent is such a good mom. She's not vilifying her husband. Like I am not. My parents were married until my mother died. I am still married. First marriage, only marriage, to the mother of my child. So I have no direct experience with divorce except for what I witnessed through my siblings, who've all been divorced multiple times. And the parents of the kids I worked with back when I worked in mental health. As well as when I taught parenting classes when I worked for family literacy. And the one thing that I do know is you don't vilify the parent And I know that can be really tough because I've seen so many situations, again, not me personally as like the parent or the child, but I've witnessed them as an exterior party of one parent trying to do what they can that's best for the kids, one parent only doing what's fun, etc. And I know it is tough for that parent to not want to express to the children what a crappy job the other parent is doing. But you can't do that. And she is doing a great job of not vilifying him here, even when there is tons to vilify. We did get a little bit of humor with Bootsy yelling at him. She is the best character to do this, as she is his mother. I also really enjoyed her telling Millicent, "I broke your pillow." And it was such a great line when Dorothy Jane told him, "We wouldn't want the divorce if you stayed around," letting him know very concretely it is not just Millicent who wants the divorce. Dorothy Jane wants the divorce as well.
You got some colors mixed in with your whites, Millicent.
Too late, don't care, so what? I've been separating my whites and colors for the last 15 years. I've been running this house correctly all of my life, and what's it got me? I'm a soon-to-be divorcee who's going to turn 36 on her next birthday, which puts me closer to 40 than 30, which puts me closer to 50 than 20. I'm 50! I'm in my 50s! I'm having hot flashes! It's menopause!
It's a dryer.
Oh, thank God. Thank God it can't all go past so quickly.
Mama, you're scaring me.
I should have been able to make this marriage work.
Honey, how could you make the marriage work? He didn't even live in the same house.
I should have followed him.
You got 5 kids.
I was always pregnant. I was pregnant for 45 months. I couldn't follow him. I was too slow.
Okay, now let me tell you something right now. I understand perfectly well that I've given birth to a rat, but I still love him because he's my rat son. But I've grown to love you like a daughter, and I am here to tell you right now that you have got nothing to blame yourself for, and you have to continue with your life.
I gotcha. Oh, y'all should have come. Kids had the time of their lives with their daddy.
We rode every ride. I had cotton candy.
I can see that, honey.
We had a really nice time, Mama.
Yeah, I gotta admit, we did.
I love these kids.
Hey, you don't touch a man's hat.
Yes, sir. You know, being with them tonight made me realize how much I miss them. How important it is having your family around you. Riding that Ferris wheel with Mary Sue sitting beside me, and Stephen Floyd and Ruth Ann sitting behind me, and Chucky Lee and some big fat guy I don't know sitting in front of me. It all made me realize that I want to try again. I'm going to stay here, Millicent. Millicent, I know I've hurt you.
I am not concerned about me. I just wish you could have talked to me in private about coming back before you said everything in front of the kids like that. I wonder if you know how much you've hurt them.
The point is, I don't want to hurt anybody anymore. I can be a good husband. I can be a good father if you just give me the chance.
What, I'm supposed to trust that? I know you too well, Randy. You can't expect me to trust that.
Just because I'm not here doesn't mean I don't love you.
Oh, that is just so convenient. Do you use that line of reasoning when you were unfaithful to me? In whatever towns you have been unfaithful to me in?
Millicent, we are legally separated at your request.
I have never been with another man.
Why are you bringing this up now?
Because I want you to know there is no one else in my heart. And there never has been. When I tell you, I don't know if I'll want you back.
Good night, Mama.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as I get back upstairs, I did.
So you're not your daddy.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, Chucky Lee. You're almost getting too big to hug your daddy.
Good night, Daddy.
Night, Stephen Floyd.
See you in the morning?
Yes, you will.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Those boys sure love their daddy.
Yes, they genuinely do.
What about you, Millicent?
Yeah, I love my daddy, too. I don't know what that has to do with you and me, however.
I just wanted to say goodnight, Mama.
So did I. Good night.
Dorothy Jane? You gonna say goodnight to me?
Night.
Why do you hate me, Dorothy Jane?
I don't hate you.
Well, you sure don't love me.
How could I love you? You always leave. Why don't you want to be my father? I didn't do anything.
You don't even want to ride the Ferris wheel with me.
You're gonna leave.
I might surprise you.
I just want to go to sleep.
Olivia Burnett is also killing it in this. Oh, he's such a horrible person. Her statement that I don't hate you, and then he's like, "Well, you don't love me." He's like, "Well, how could I? And why don't you want anything to do with me? I didn't do anything." That's powerful. I can't help but wonder how many people, how many kids in similar situations watch this could relate to that situation.
I don't understand myself. After 35 years of living in my own body, I don't understand myself. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I knew I was going to do it, and I'm doing it. Blueberry pancakes. Unbelievable. I knew you were going to do this. I smelled it upstairs. I knew I sleep. You were going to do cereal. It was like I smelled that in the refrigerator. I go to the grocery, I buy blueberries. I'm standing there making blueberry pancakes. Can you believe this?
No, I can't believe this. What do you think I'm talking about here?
Do I smell blueberry pancakes?
Yes.
Favorite.
Told you to still be here.
Well, of course I'm still here. Morning, Hodges.
Morning, Mr. Torkelson.
You know, with me moving back into the house, I really see no need to sustain this border situation.
Randy?
Now, Millicent, it's not like I'm picking him out today. You take as long as you need, find yourself a new arrangement.
Well, Mr. Torkelson, I appreciate your position. I mean no disrespect, but I make my rent check out to Mrs. Torkelson. And when she tells me to find a new arrangement, I most certainly will.
Now, listen.
No, you listen. Porter Hodges has been with us 36 consecutive days. I've been married to you for 15 years and don't believe I've seen you here 36 consecutive days. Therefore, on your 37th consecutive day, Porter Hodges and I will reassess the situation.
Well, that works for me.
Paying customer, bub.
Okay, two things. One, that was a classy response from Border Hodges. Loved it. It was great. I also realized I have not yet talked about Mr. Torkelson here and who he is playing. Or, sorry, rather, who is playing him. So this actor is Greg Henry. As I said, he will show up in the show again. If he looks familiar to you and you're not sure why, like, he has a lot of acting credits. He's been in so many things. He's been dad in a few shows as well. He was not typically regular, but like recurring or, guest. He was Quinn's dad in Glee. He was Logan's dad in Gilmore Girls. He was also the grandpa in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Volume 3. So that's the one that just came out 2 years ago. So if you remember the ending of that movie, he was grandpa there. He was in one ep of Star Trek Enterprise as the alien Zokon, which is an Arconian covered in makeup. So, like, he is not identifiable at all. I've seen that episode. I would have never known it was him unless I saw the name in IMDb. It's actually a really good episode, by the way. Enterprise was not my favorite by a long shot, but that was a good one. The episode is called, I think it's called Dawn. Tucker and this alien who are at odds are stuck on a planet that is, the sun is rising and it's getting incredibly hot, and they're trying to survive without being able to communicate. It's a good episode. Anyway, he's also in an episode of Star Trek. No, sorry. He's also in the movie Star Trek Insurrection, which is the, in my opinion, worst of the Next Generation films. So one question I have, does the Torkelson really like Star Trek actors? Because this is not the first Star Trek actor we've had. Or is it that Star Trek is just so huge and has so many episodes that if you're a regular actor in Hollywood, you're going to get a Star Trek credit at some point? Probably that one. I also have to say, just because I am piling on him, and I'm going to continue to pile on him for this entire episode, imagine the audacity of trying to kick out your wife's boarder the first night you stay there, basically. And again, Border Hodge's response, like, this is an arrangement I have with Mrs. Torkelson. That was perfect. One other thing that just occurred to me, this implies it's only been, no, it didn't apply, it flat out states, it's only been 36 days since the pilot. This is the 7th episode, so time's moving a little different in this show than our air dates, because it's been 7 episodes. Even if we'd had one a week, that would have been 49 days, and we've only had 36.
The kids seem to be having a good time with their daddy, don't you think, Milsa?
Kids need a daddy. It's good for them that he's here.
What about you?
What about me?
You gonna let him stay?
Hello? No, I'm sorry, he's not here. Well, he should be back any time. Yeah, I can take a message. Uh-huh. I see. Yeah, I'll tell him. Bye.
What?
Man,
That was even better than last night, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, even better. Here, take your sister.
All right, everybody, it's way past your bedtime. Stephen Floyd, tuck your little sister in. Everybody else wash up and hit the hay.
Good night, Daddy.
Night, Dad.
Good night, sweet dreams.
Randy, you got a phone call.
Yeah, after me and the kids went to the Frosty King, they wanted to show me everything's changed here in Pyramid Corner since I've been gone. So we walked from one end of town to the other. And you know what's changed? Nothing. Nothing has changed whatsoever. When I left town, the bulb in the E in Miller's Hardware sign was burnt out. I walked by there today, it's still burnt out. So I walked in the store, I say to Hubert Miller, I say, Hubert, I haven't been in town in a year and a half. The E in your sign was burnt out then, it's still burnt out. Now, here's the good news, Hubert. You don't have to go to the hardware store to get yourself a bulb to fix that sign. You are the hardware store. You're crawling with bulbs. Why don't you fix your sign? And he looks at me and he says, I'm gonna get to.
What's your point?
No point. I have no point.
Randy, you got a phone call.
I'm gonna get to.
You know this guy?
Joe Safford. Yeah, he's a foreman of that offshore rig I was working. Why, he call here? What'd he say?
Says he needs a lead man for a Gulf Coast job, starts tomorrow morning.
Oh, I'd have to drive all night. Watch this, ladies.
What you doing, Randall?
Joe, Randy Torkelson, how you doing? Yeah, I got your message. I'm gonna have to turn this one down, Joe. Maybe next time. Well, you keep it open if you want to, but I'm not gonna be there in the morning. Thanks anyway. What y'all think of that, huh?
Proud of you, son. You two still look good together. You really do. Good night.
Good night, Mom.
Night boots.
Well, I I'm kind of tired, too.
Dorothy Jane, I want you to say goodnight to your father.
Good night.
No. You haven't given your father a hug and a kiss since he's been back here.
Mama.
I want you to give your father a hug and a kiss.
Thank you, Dorothy Jane. Why'd you make her do that?
If you don't mind, Randy, I'm a little tired myself.
That whole scene was just heartbreaking, start to finish, between Bootsy being so happy that her son is maybe finally trying to make the right decision. And Bootsy's no dummy. I can't help but imagine that she knows he's not, but maybe she is just trying to. Sometimes people will say things to make themselves believe it. And then Millicent making Dorothy Jane hug and kiss her dad, and then she kissed him, also heartbroken. It's just. This whole thing was rough. All right, my next comment will be at the end of the episode. So let's sit back and watch.
Goodbye, Daddy.
Mrs. Torkelson, I'm truly very sorry.
Well, don't you go anywhere.
I won't. Food's too good.
Mama? Come on.
What?
This is the last day of the carnival.
Yeah?
I want to ride the Ferris wheel with you.
All right, let's wrap this up. So I think it's a good ending. Dorothy Jane giving her mom what all the other kids were giving her dad. We learned early in the episode that, of course, Dorothy Jane did remember and loved that night of riding the Ferris wheel with her dad. she has no use for her father, rightfully so, I think, and that she wants to do that with her mom. I think it's just a beautiful element, and I love it. It's a great ending for just a bittersweet episode. There were a few subtle jokes in here throughout that worked really well for me. Boosie's breaking the pillow, and then Border Hodges here at the end saying he's not going to leave because the food's too good, as she is pouring him a bowl of generic Cheerios. So that was great. But yeah, not funny, but still good. So I don't remember the other episode where he returns, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out later. But that is all we have for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next Friday night.